So today we are going to discuss the next portion, Bharata's Natya Shastra. Bharata's Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra, the poetics of drama. Natya Shastra, the poet. We have already discussed about Bharata's Natya Shastra. So Natya Shastra, the poetics of drama, is a treatise. What do you mean by treatise? Maybe you can take note of it, and once the class is over, please send me the lecture notes. Treatise. A treatise is a formal and a detailed written work that explains or discusses a particular subject carefully and systematically, usually by an expert. So, Nati Shastra is a treatise. What do you mean by treatise? A treatise is a formal and a treatise is a formal and detailed written work. Am I audible? Can you hear me well? Hello, am I audible? Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's continue. So Natya Shastra is a treatise. Natya Shastra is a treatise means treatise is a formal and detailed written work that explains or discusses a particular subject carefully and systematically by an expert. So it is a treatise on the dramatic art that attempts to outline the aim, purpose, and role of drama in the ancient India. So what is it doing? It is attempting to outline the aim, purpose, and the role of drama in the ancient India. So Natya Shastra is a treatise. Natya Shastra is a treatise on the dramatic art that attempts to outline the aim, purpose, and the role of drama in ancient India. The treatise includes specific features and elements considered integral to Sanskrit drama. So the treatise includes what? Includes specific features and elements considered integral to Sanskrit drama. Natya carried the word nat, which means act or emote. It may be applied to both drama and dance. As Natya is also the word for dancing and or a dramatic representation. And Natak denotes a play. Natya Shastra is the oldest text on the theory of drama that has survived for centuries. So we know Natya Shastra has been written long back, but it could survive the time. It survived for centuries. Bharata termed it the fifth Veda. So you know how much important Veda is, right? So Bharata termed Natya Shastra as the fifth Veda. So Bharata has termed Natya Shastra as the fifth Veda. So Natya Shastra is a treatise on the dramatic art that attempts to outline the aim, purpose, and role of drama in ancient India. The treatise includes specific features and elements considered integral to Sanskrit drama. The Natya carries the word nat, which means to act or remote. It may be applied to both drama and dance, as Natya is also the word for dancing or a dramatic representation, and Natak denotes a play. Natya Shastra is the oldest text on the theory of drama that has survived for centuries. Bharata termed it the fifth Veda. Now, what he claimed it. I shall make a fifth Veda on the Natya with the semi-historical tales, Itihasa, which will conduce to duty, that is Dharma, wealth, Artha, as well as fame, will contain good counsel and collection of other material for human being well, will give guidance to the people of the future as well as in all their actions, will be enriched by the teaching of all scriptures, and will give a review of all arts and crafts, Shilpa. So this is quoted by Nagpal. In Nagpal, it was originally written by. um it was originally written by Bharata Muni. So what is he saying? Bharata Muni is saying, I shall make a fifth Veda on the Natya with the semi-historical tales, that is Itihasa, which will conduce to duty, dharma, wealth, artha, as well as fame, will contain good counsel and collection of other material for human well-being, will give guidance to people of the future as well in all their actions, will be enriched by the teachings of all scriptures, Shastra, and will give a review of all arts and crafts. Note that it is meant to be a Veda, that is crystallized knowledge of supreme importance on the aspect of Natya, that is drama. So note that it is meant to be a Veda, that is crystallized knowledge of supreme importance on the aspect of Natya, that is drama. Drama occupied an important position in the ancient period. So drama occupied a very important position in the ancient period. It was an essential source of learning. What was an essential source of learning? Drama was an essential source of learning. For this reason, Bharata claimed that drama based on his treatise will conduce. What do you mean by the word conduce? To lead or to contribute to. So conduce to is a phrase, so which means to lead or to contribute to. So Bharata claimed that drama based on his treatise will conduce means will lead to or contribute to people. What will it teach the people? To duty. What is their duty? What is their responsibilities? Bring them on the path of dharma and provide guidance to the people of the future. So drama is not just for the purpose of entertaining the people. It has purposes. It has purposes where it gives guidance to the people and remind them of their own responsibilities and remind them of their own responsibilities. The suggestion here is that Bharata pictures the afterlife of his text, much like the Vedas were considered in his own time. So he understood that this is going to survive that time and it has got greater importance. The suggestion here is that Bharata pictures the afterlife of his text, much like the Vedas were considered in his own time. He believes that Natya Shastra too would hold similar importance. Nonetheless, the focus is on offering knowledge through the agency of drama. So the focus is what? Is offering knowledge through the agency of drama. This drama was meant to be didactic in nature, even as it entertained the audience in the process. What do you mean by the word didactic? The word didactic means something that is intended to teach or instruct, especially in a way that gives a moral lesson. So what do you mean by the word didactic? Something that is intended to teach or instruct. So that is basically didactic. So the drama is in what nature? It is a didactic nature, which means it is supposed to teach. What it is teaching? As it entertained the audience in the process. So even though the drama entertained the audience, it also taught them about their duties, about their responsibilities, all these things. The drama used to teach the people. To teach and to delight became the central aim of the dramatic art in the hands of critics and writers of a Sanskrit literature. Interestingly, Bharata notes that the fifth Veda, that is the Natya Shastra, would be accessible to all, unlike the first four Vedas. So he understood that the Natya Shastra is going to be accessible to all people, unlike the first four Vedas that were and maybe still are denied to women and the Shudras. So the Vedas were denied to the Shudras and the women at that time. Where Bharata Natya Shastra could be read by anyone. What is the significance of this? Such an exercise would make scriptures and literature human-centered and approachable. So the scriptures are supposed to be human-centered, right? For every human should be able to have an access to it. So Bharata understood that, okay, his fifth Veda, that is a Natya Shastra, is going to be human-centered. Today we have a student-centered learning, right? Before it was all teacher-centered learning. What do you mean by teacher-centered and what do you mean by student-centered? Yeah, in the teacher-centered, the teacher will be teaching and the students will all be listening. But when you come to the teachers, the learner, the student-centered, there will be a lot of cooperation from the students will give more opportunities for them to talk and they will have lots of activities. So our classrooms are moving from a teacher centered concept to student centered concept. In the same manner, he understood that the scriptures are to be human centered, and the scriptures and literature are to be human centered, and it should be approachable. The Natya Shastra provides 10 different the Natya Shastra provides 10 different types of dramatic representations. The Natya Shastra provides how many different types of dramatic representations? They provide 10 different types of dramatic representations that are determined by factors of length of a play, theme, plot and character. So Natya Shastra make it into 10 different types according to the length of a play, theme of a play, plot of the play, characters of the play. Nataka and Prakarana belong to the category of full-length plays of 5 to 10 acts that have as their subject plots taken from history and fictional stories respectively. We have already covered what is Nataka and Prakarana. Do you remember what is Nataka? On the previous lessons, we covered Nataka. What is Nataka and what is Prakarana? What is Nataka? Nataka are the stories from epics or mythologies. So Nataka means stories will be in the Nataka. The stories will be taken from epics or mythology with royal heroes. So the stories will be from where? The stories will be from the epics or mythologies with royal heroes that will be taken and the story will be written. Maybe some changes will be there. But what is there in the Prakarana? In the Prakarana, it is a original story written by the author with the common people. So in the Prakarana, the story will be original. The author have written the story by himself, not taking from anywhere else. So Nataka and Prakarna belong to the category of full-length plays of 5 to 10 acts that have as their subject plots taken from histories. Of course, the Nataka, it will be from histories and fictional stories will be Prakarna. On the other hand, what we have else? There are bhanas that are satirical monologues. What are bhanas? They are satirical monologues. So what do you mean by satirical monologues? In classical Indian drama, satirical monologues refer to speeches delivered by a single character that humorously criticize social behavior, hypocrisy, or human weakness. So in a classical Indian drama, satirical monologue means what? It refers to speeches delivered by a single character. Monologue means it's a one man speaking. So monologue refer to speeches delivered by a single character that humorously criticize social behavior, hypocrisy, or human weakness, and dwell on superficial or less important themes. Between these extremes, the treatise fits in tragedies and comedies that may have 1 to 4 acts and the subject is of relative importance. So between these extremes, what also will be there? The treatise fits in tragedies. Tragedies means that has a sad ending. Comedy means which has a happy ending. So there are tragedies and comedies also there, and they will fit into 1 or 4 acts of relative importance. These include, among others, Samavagana and Ihamriga that have less than 5 acts but deal with divine themes. Vyayog and Anka, 1 act plays based on a single day's events. What do you mean by 1 act play? And 1 act play is a short dramatic work that consists of only 1 act, where the entire story is presented in a single continuous action without divisions into multiple acts. So it will be a kind of a short play. The entire story is presented in a single continuous action. The entire story will be in a single continuous action. The Natya Shastra was meant to take elements from the first four Vedas and include these under one head. So Natya Shastra was meant to take elements from the first four Vedas and include these four under one head. It ventured, what do you mean by ventured? To take a risk or attempt something this that may be dangerous or uncertain. Venture means venture is to take a risk or attempt something that may be dangerous or uncertain. It ventured to draw from the Rig Veda the recitative quality. So what did it took from the Rig Veda? The recitative quality. What do you mean by recitative? Recitative is a speech-like style of singing used in drama or opera to narrate events more the plot forward. So recitative means it's a speech-like style of singing. It's a speech-like style of singing used in drama or opera to narrate events and moving plot forward. So from the Rig Veda, the recitative quality, and from the Yajur Veda, histrionic representation. From the Yajur Veda, what is that? Histrionic representation. So histrionic representation is the dramatic portrayal of human actions and emotions on stage through acting and theatrical performance. So histrionic representation is what? Is the dramatic portrayal of human action, dramatic portrayal of human actions and emotions on stage through acting and theatrical performance. So that is taken from the Yajur Veda. From the Atharva Veda, rituals and style, which you know what is a ritual and style. And the Sama Veda, rasas. Importantly, the Natya Shastra is best known for expounding the theory of rasas, which is particularly relevant for us in understanding the aesthetic sensibility of Kalidasa. The peculiar sensibility of Kalidasa will be focused in the next section. Let us first understand the theory of rasa. For Sheldon Pollock, rasa is that we will discuss further. Let's read it first. Okay, let's read the whole thing together. Bharada's Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra, the poetics of drama, is a treatise on a dramatic art that attempts to outline the aim, purpose, and role of drama in ancient India. The treatise includes specific features and elements considered integral to Sanskrit drama. Natya carries the root word nat, which means to act or emote. It may be applied to both drama and dance, as Natya is also the word for dancing or dramatic representation, and Natak denotes a play. Natya Shastra is the oldest text on the theory of drama that has survived for centuries. Bharata termed it the fifth Veda. He has claimed, I shall make a fifth Veda on the Natya with the semi-historical tales, Itihasa, which will conduce to duty, dharma, wealth, artha, as well as faith, will contain good counsel and collection of other material for human well-being, will give guidance to people of the future as well in all their actions, will be enriched by the teaching of all scriptures, Shastra, and will give a review of all arts and crafts. Note that it is meant to be a Veda that is crystallized knowledge of supreme importance on the aspect of Natya, that is drama. Drama occupied an important position in the ancient period. It was an essential source of learning. For this reason, Bharata claimed that drama based on his treatise will conduce people to duty, bring them on the path of dharma, and provide guidance to the people of the future. The suggestion here is that Bharata pictures the afterlife of his text much like the Vedas were considered in his own time. He believes that Natya Shastra too would hold similar importance. Nonetheless, the importance is on offering through the agency of drama. This drama was meant to be didactic in nature, even as it entertained the audience in the process. To teach and to delight become the central aim of dramatic art in the hands of critics and writers of Sanskrit literature. Interestingly, Bharata notes that the fifth Veda, Natya Shastra, would be accessible to all, unlike the first four Vedas that were and maybe still are denied to women and Shudras. For Bharata, Natya Shastra could be read by anyone. What is the significance of this? Such an exercise would make scripture and literature human-centered and approachable. The Natya Shastra provides 10 different types of dramatic representations that are determined by factors of length of a play, theme, plot, and characters. Nataka and Prakarana belong to the category of full-length plays of 5 to 10 acts that have as their subjects plots, taken from histories and fictional stories, respectively. On the other hand, there are bhanas that are satirical monologues and dwell on the superficial or less important themes. Between these extremes, the treatise fits in tragedies and comedies that may have 1 to 4 acts, and the subject is of relative importance. These include, among others, Samavagara and Ihamrga, that have less 5 acts but deal with divine themes. Vyayog and Anga, 1 act plays based on a single day's events. The Natya Shastra was meant to take elements from the first 4 Vedas and include these under one head. It ventured to draw from the Rig Veda the recitative quality, from the Yajur Veda histrionic representation, from the Atharva Veda rituals and style, from the Sama Veda rasas. Importantly, the Natya Shastra is best known for expounding the theory of rasas, which is particularly relevant for us in understanding the aesthetic sensibility of Kalidasa. The peculiar sensibility of Kalidasa will be focused on the next section. Let us first understand the theory of rasa. Now, for Sheldon Pollock, rasa is that which can be served to him. So, rasa is what? That can be served. What do you mean by served? Served means to enjoy something fully and slowly, especially a pleasant experience, taste, or a moment. So, served means to enjoy something fully and slowly, especially a pleasant experience. So, rasa can be served to whom? To the Bharata. Bharata's language often clearly suggests that his analytical focus is on rasa in the character. The comic, for example, is seen to exist for most part in women and the characters of low status, not in response of the viewer. Moreover, Bharata's conception on of the casual process, bhavas or emotions are the factors that manifest the rasa implies, or at least later is taken to imply the pre-existence of rasa in the character and hence the character's analytical primacy. So, in simple words, in Natya Shastra, Bharadamuni focuses mainly on rasa as existing in the character on stage. For example, he says the comic rasa, hasya, is mainly shown through women and characters of low social status in the drama. This shows that the emotions is first expressed by the character, not primarily by the audience. According to Bharata, bhavas, emotions, or states are the causes that brings out or manifest rasa. Thus, rasa is understood as already present in the character and revealed through their emotions and actions. That is Sheldon Pollock talking about him. Bharata provides us with a list of 8 rasas. So he is providing us with a list of 8 rasas. What are they? The erotic. Erotic means the sringar. The comic, which is hasya. The furious, raudra. Pathetic, karuna. Heroic, veer. The marvelous, albhut. The odious, biphalsa. And the terrible, bhayanak. So how many rasas Bharata is providing us? Bharata is providing us with the 8 rasas. Bharata is providing us with a list of 8 rasas. What are they? The erotic. Erotic means sringar. Erotic means sringar. If you write all these things, if you write these important points, you will get good marks in your exam. Okay. The erotic means sringar. The comic means hasya, the furious means raudra, the pathetic means karuna, the heroic means veer, the marvelous means albhut, the odious means vibhalsa, and the terrible, which is bhayanak. All these have their specific importance in the writer's scheme of things. Among these, the rasa of Sringa reigns supreme. This is because Sringa is the rasa of pleasure and beauty. Now, write down the answer for this question. What was the purpose of dramatic art in the ancient period as discussed by Bharata Muni in his Natya Shastra? Please write down the answer of this question and send to me. What was the purpose of dramatic art in the ancient period as discussed by Bharata Muni in his Natya Shastra? Let's sum up. This unit was brought into focus aspects of ancient Indian drama. So we have studied the different aspects of ancient Indian drama. It has offered a discussion on Kalidasa's probable time and culture. So it has offered a discussion on Kalidasa's probable time and culture. In this discussion, an attempt has been made to provide a view of Kalidasa's literary background that would enable us to understand the larger context of an ancient Indian aesthetics. This in turn led us to an overview of Kalidasa's creative of it's a French word actually. So the pronunciation will somewhat come like ovire. Okay, the total collection of works created by a particular person. The total collection of works created by a particular person. Let's check the pronunciation. It's a French word. It's a confusing pronunciation even for me. So Oeuvre. So English has a particular character of adopting words from all over the world, and English can be written in one way and can be read in another way, and because of that, we have lot many words in the language. So Ovra is a French word used in English, so we have to pronounce it as a urvru. It will be urvru, urvru. So I know the pronunciation, but I forgot. So let's say urvru. Okay. So what is arvuru? Arvuru means arvuru. Arvuru means the collection, the total collection of works created by a particular person. So that we can get it here. That would enable us to understand the larger context of an ancient Indian aesthetics. This in turn led to an overview of Kalidasa's creative oeuvre. A general view of Varada's Natya Shastra has also been provided, and his concepts of drama touched upon since they make the backbone of ancient Sanskrit drama. Apart from these, the question of form has been taken up, and particularly the forms of epic and drama have been compared in the context of Kalidasa. We also gained a view of the original story that was written in the Mahabharata and later adapted by Kalidasa for his dramatic work. So glossary, the material place with its special features, the physical characteristics of a region, you know that. And Yaksha is an ancient spirit that's been mentioned there. God of nature, and that was worshipped as a deity of grove and water sources. So that's the end of the unit two. That's the end of unit two, Abhijnana Shagundala. So we are studying on this was unit two, which was Kalidasa and overview. So ancient Indian literature, Indian classical literature is what we are studying. And we are on the block one. Okay, so to say there is so much to study, but read the textbook. I hope you're understanding the concepts well. In the examination, you need to present, in a good manner, and when they know that you understood, sometimes you may be writing something not exactly for the answers, but if they know that you have studied and you have read well and all, of course they will give you good marks. Okay, that is one thing that you need to understand. So study well, read a lot. Exams are approaching. Okay, then see you on the next class.